Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, I want to talk about Bitcoin this week and give you an update on what I think is going to happen. And also, there's a few L1s, a few altcoins that have some big news. I want to share those with you as well. So, thanks for tuning in. As always, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel, 2 streams almost every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Although I'm late on the weekends mostly, so make sure you hit that notification bell and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and check out all the latest news, article, and guides at CryptosRUs.com. Welcome, guys. Welcome. I know that some of you guys may be panicking at this point, but Bitcoin is still holding around 54,000, right? We know what pushed Bitcoin down this time was not due to whale manipulation, was due to one new variant that came out, and this is what how people are reacting, I should say, as a new variant, the Omicron variant was discovered, and it put the world on high alert. But here's the thing. A South African doctor already looked at several patients that were infected by this new Omicron Omicron variant, and it seems to be pretty mild. It doesn't seem like it's a big thing. So according to this doctor, it presents mild disease with symptoms being sore muscles and tiredness for a day or two, not feeling well. So far, we detected that those infected do not suffer a loss of taste or smell. They may have a slight cough. So it doesn't seem like this new variant right now, right off the bat with just a few patients, is exhibiting any worse symptoms. In fact, it seems to be right now a very mild case of the Delta variant and other variants that's out there, right? So, if this is true, right, that means we will pass through this very, very quickly, right? Meaning that the world, world leaders of the world is not going to be panicking. The WHO and everyone else is not going to be panicking, and it's back to business as usual. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens this week. If the equity market, I should say, deems this as just business as usual, we will get past it and there's no more to worry about, then I think the equities market is going to recover in a big way, and I think Bitcoin will recover in a big way, because it was really the only reason why Bitcoin fell is due to this scare, right? Now, if this coming week there's more that's coming out somehow, there's more studies or more cases and it's exploding and it seems like it's doomsday once again, then it's probably going to be negative towards the equities market and probably be more negative towards Bitcoin. But that's the only thing I see right now that's holding Bitcoin back because of this. Short term, yeah, we have some volatility, but long term we know that nothing stops Bitcoin. In fact, if this turns out to be another reason for governments to implement lockdown and restrictions and protocols and quarantine and causes them to print more money, you know how that helps Bitcoin? Well, of course, it's going to cause many more people to turn to Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation, right? So long term, if this turns out to be a bad thing and it causes more of the same of what happened in 2020, well, short term, we may have some downside. It happened in 2020. March 2020, Bitcoin had a really, really, really bad month. But then it recovered, a V-shaped recovery, and we never looked back since then. And Bitcoin went from 3,800 to where it is now at 54,000, right? I believe this week we will get more answers, and I do think right now is that calm before the storm, where if the equities market and these new cases turn out to be basically nothing, we're going to see a pretty significant rally, and Bitcoin could be right back to about 59, 60,000 in short order. So what does that mean? Well, that means first of all, don't panic. First of all, don't ban it. And second of all, if you do have the ability to buy the dip, I think it's a pretty good buying opportunity. Again, doesn't mean that we won't go lower, but no one knows. No one knows. Everyone's speculating. Can Bitcoin go lower? Can altcoin go lower, right? But I'm basing it on this, and this is very, very promising how Dr. already says that this is so far a nothing burger. But it's early. It's early, right? But this has been the case for the last few days, this weekend, starting from Black Friday, right? So it seems like it's been an eternity, but really it's only been 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday now, right? So we are in a slump, but let's keep in mind it's only been in 3 days. And on Thanksgiving, Bitcoin was right back to about $60,000. So those of you guys that think, oh, it's all done, you know, Bitcoin's topped out and we're going much lower, right? Just take a step back and realize that, you know, we're only in day 3 of this slump right now. And I did mention a lot recently about fear and greed index, right? It's at 27 currently. It's going to update in another 6 hours. Let's see what happens. But we were in extreme fear. We have come up a little bit. People are breathing a little bit easier. But it really depends on what happens starting from tomorrow. I think we'll be able to tell, right? In my opinion, I think this is going to be a nothing burger. It's a little scary right now, but I think we're going to get past this. I don't think this is going to blow up into anything worse, but I may be wrong, but we'll see. But I think this week will be a good recovery week for the equities market and for Bitcoin and altcoins. So I think it's a good time to load up a little bit more to be dollar cost average and wait for things to recover. Now, that is what I think is going to happen this week. But there are a few other little news I want to share with you that could have explosiveness on these altcoins. And I'm going to concentrate on 4 of them. But yesterday, I just did a video about what to buy, right? I talked about a lot of L1s and metaverse plays because you could never go wrong with L1s. And right now, with metaverses being as hot as they are, I think their momentum is going to continue. But if you look at today, right, it's a pretty down day, with the exception of Luna. Luna is up in a big way, actually. But for the most part, everything is in the red, right? Which means that it's a pretty good buying opportunity, especially when things are down, 10, 15, 20% within the last 3 days, right? So there's a couple of news. I know a lot of you guys are talking about Solana. Why is it so weak recently, right? Let's take a step back and realize that Solana has gone up so much so fast. But the biggest reason why Solana will continue to be in the top 5 is due to this guy right here, Sam Bankman-Fried of FTX and Alameda Research. He conducted an interview recently, and of course, he's back in Solana. And he thinks Solana has a good chance to even overthrow Ethereum one day. He has put a lot of money into Solana and its ecosystem, and one could argue that he's the only reason why Solana is this big because there was a major lockup that opened up, and a lot of VCs decided to sell, and Sam Bankman-Fried bought up all their SOL. So he could be credited as the person who really drove Solana where it is now. And he's not giving up. He's going to continue to invest in the ecosystem and grow it even larger than it is now. But what's interesting about this interview is this is not just endorsement for Solana. He was asked about if there's any other altcoins that he felt like was very promising and could scale, just like Solana, right? And to quote him, I think there are other tokens out there that are aiming to scale a bit, and Avalanche is one of them. So this is also a big endorsement for Avalanche, as Sam is giving them credit, right? Does that mean that he may be investing into Avalanche and Avalanche's ecosystem in the near future? Maybe, because we know Avalanche has gone up so much recently too, right? And I said they were following the same footsteps as Solana. Right now, they're taking a breather. In fact, down 10%. Could be a good buying opportunity right now. But Avalanche has also gone up quite tremendously within the last few months, I should say. And now Sam is giving them a big thumbs up. So that's quite interesting. All right, now what else is there? Well, I know a lot of you guys are Kadena fans because Kadena also went up quite tremendously. And I'm surprised this has not pushed things up more. We're excited to announce that Kadena will be listed on Gate.io next week. Because right now, one of the biggest problems for Kadena is it's not on many big exchanges. The biggest one right now is KuCoin, right? And I think most of you guys that are in Kadena are using KuCoin, but soon you could get it on Gate.io, right? So that will be pretty big because Gate.io is open to US residents. You could do KYC on them. They're not the large exchange, but you could see that it's starting to happen, right? And after these exchanges, who knows? Where else? Binance, Binance.us, Coinbase, Gemini, right? So exchange listings are definitely positive when it comes to these projects that are growing. And Kadena has grown quite a lot just from being on KuCoin, but now they're going to be listed on several, or a new exchange that's relatively known. So that's pretty positive for them. So I'm quite surprised that they haven't gone up more because of this announcement. All right, now, in addition to this, Cardano. Cardano is one of the worst performing big caps in the last 90 days. Last 90 days, you could see it's down 47% in the last 90 days, while others are still in the green, right? And I've been saying about Cardano, we need a DEX out. Sunday swap, what happened? They're supposed to come out, right? Rumors are they're about to launch their DEX this week, but I don't see any announcements. I don't see anyone talking about it. I don't know how that rumor came out, but they've been promising a DEX for quite some time, right? So that is right around the corner, I believe. But also, what's interesting is, well, we know metaverses are really popular. So there is going to be a metaverse on the Cardano ecosystem, right? The very first one, Pavia. And you know what? If this ends up blowing up, and they're going to do the same thing, you're going to have land sales and all this stuff that's going on. And of course, this is being listed on Cardano's NFT marketplace, CNFT. So this is going to be like Decentraland for Cardano. And if this turns out to be hot, this could be a huge catalyst for Cardano too. Right now, number one is, of course, the DEX, which could be coming this week, and that would be huge already. But Cardano's ecosystem is starting to expand into other hot realms like metaverses and NFTs, and this could also drive it up in a big way. So just want to point that out there. And lastly, another project that I've talked about before, and a lot of you guys are getting antsy on, and that is Fantom. And Fantom was very, very, very hot within the last 90 days, but has cooled off within the last 30 days. And I know a lot of you guys love Fantom, kind of like a layer 2, layer 1. Start as a layer 2, almost like a scaling mechanism for Ethereum, but has since then evolved into a layer 1 because they have a robust ecosystem. And there's many reasons why Fantom right now could be at a point where it starts going up. Well, first of all, because it is down quite significantly for the last 30 days, but other things that show the fundamentals of Fantom has been improving quite a lot. For example, the total TVL is above 5 billion, and they are in the top 10, even above Polygon. And they're not that far off from Tron, and about halfway from Terra, and about a third, maybe less than a third, a fourth of Avalanche, right? So they are climbing, but if you look at the right-hand side, the market cap to TVL, this ratio, they are one of the most undervalued, if you look at it that way, in terms of their market cap to their TVL. It's about 1 to 1. But others, like Binance Coins, 5.4 to 1. Solana, 4.2 to 1. Avalanche, 1.9. So if you look at it from this perspective, market cap versus TVL, they are actually very, very undervalued. And also, if you look at developer counts, active developer counts, this is interesting. It's rated Solana, Ethereum, Elrond, Algorand, Terra, Avalanche, and Fantom. So they're right up there, right? So the fact that they have a robust ecosystem with a ton of TVL, 5 billion worth, and their development continues to do well, right? You add it all together, and then here's another one that talks about Binance Cloud, how that's supposed to be coming. Coinbase listing could be coming, right? Fantom EVM, early 2022. I didn't even know about that. That could be coming. These things could be driving Fantom up in a big way in the near future. Maybe even as early as this week, right? So I want to mention about Fantom because a lot of you guys are Fantom fans and been asking me why it's so stagnant. Well, good things come to those that wait. Outside of that, that's pretty much it. We're in a standstill right now, right? We're waiting to see what happens this week. Is more going to be made of this, Omicron variant? Is everyone go and spread doom and gloom because of it, or is it turn out to be a nothing burger and everyone just says, okay, we're gonna get through it? It really depends on what's gonna happen this week, but I think this week will be good for Bitcoin and crypto. Oh, lastly, before Q&A, just want to mention about OKCoin, which is a U.S. licensed exchange, and I've talked about them in a bit before. They are the only ones that sells Miami coin and the only ones that allow you to stake Miami coin. But they have introduced something that I believe all other exchanges will start doing in the future, and that is to sell Bitcoin based on sats and not a decimal point. Okay, so they are making it so that you could turn up something called sats mode. So if you're a general consumer, a new retail investor, you're coming in, rather than buy 0.0000167 Bitcoin, you could buy 1,600 sats instead. And I think in the future, that is definitely what's going to happen. As Bitcoin gets bigger and bigger and bigger, no one wants to go on an app and buy a decimal, fractional piece of Bitcoin. They rather see that they're buying thousands of sats instead, right? So OKCoin have enabled this, and they are the very first exchange to do so. But I think in the future, all exchanges will probably follow in the same footsteps. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Let's do some Q&A. Andy says, quoted from George, the best way to deal with this situation is not to look at your account or your portfolio every 2 seconds. And that is true. That is true. A lot of you guys have some kind of portfolio manager, right? Like me, I use Delta investment app. I think it's the best. But it's very easy. When you're on your phone, when you're bored, you're just like checking it every single second. It's going to drive yourself nuts. Although I know it's easier said than done not to look at it. But for those of you guys that are truly panicking, put down your phone, close your app, right? Go do something. Go outside. Go watch TV. Go watch a movie or something. Hang out with your kids. Talk with your spouse, even though you may not like to do that. Get your mind off of crypto. Just know that we are okay. We will recover. And there's just nothing you can do other than to wait, right? Don't try to make silly trades. Don't try to outsmart the market. A lot of people tend to do that, and they want to do trade here, there, and all this stuff and try to, outsmart the market. And most times when you do that, you end up hurting yourself, right? So take a breather, step back, and don't check it every 1 second or 2 seconds or 5 minutes. Ken is asking about multi-vac. I know of them. I've heard of them. I don't know what they're doing that's really making them stand out. So I think I'm just neutral on them right now. What's your price prediction? Sultan Mars asked about CRO. CRO have finally taken a breather. But honestly speaking, it's very impressive that they're still holding at 71 cents. They were just, 10 cents, 20 cents not too long ago. They have come up so much, so fast, and they're barely in the red. But I think Crypto.com will continue forward. I mean, they have all the momentum right now as exchange. Their marketing is vast, and I think they're going to go much higher. So $1 is certainty. Can they go to $2, $3 within this run? Yes. If Bitcoin continues to run, I think they will too. So I think they're definitely a powerhouse at this point. All right. VVS Finance? No, it doesn't even show up. No, it doesn't show up. Sorry, Richard. Boson Protocol is the Beast XRP was supposed to be. I don't think that's the case. They're not even Similar. I don't know what's going on with XRP, guys. This settlement, this lawsuit with Ripple is going to be ongoing for quite some time. And I've said that when they were sued, I said it's probably going to take 2 years. 2 years, because that's how long it took for EOS and Tezos and Kin to settle. It took about 2 years. It's probably going to take about 2 years. So this year is number one. Next year, they'll settle sometime next year. I just don't know when. But after they settle, then they'll probably be able to head higher. But right now, they're held down by that. OVR is a metaverse play. It is a metaverse play, so in this realm of that, so it's pretty good. But it's all about VR. So I don't know if wait, is it AR or VR? It's one of the two. It may be, I think it's VR. No, it's AR, augmented reality. So I have no problems with it, and it does seem like they have a lot of auctions opened up where you could go and buy land and participate in many things, right? It seems pretty cool. But I think when it comes to metaverses, right, people don't actually want to leave their house. That's the thing. They want to explore the metaverse inside their house. I don't think anyone really wants to travel the world and use augmented reality to buy pieces of land and so forth. I could be wrong, but Snapchat tried to do it. Google tried to do it with physical glasses that people can use augmented reality. You know, the technology, I guess, to go do things in the real world, and they both failed. So I don't know if OVR is going to make it. They could, but I think for metaverses, people rather just stay home and stay on their computer or phone and immerse themselves in the metaverse that way. IOST, I'm neutral on. They've just never been big into the project. Hey, George, every day I'm checking the price. Bad price. I've overinvested by a lot. I need to go up. Okay, sneaky. That doesn't help anything. You're just setting yourself up to basically, you're flooding yourself out, right? That's not what you want to do. If you overinvested, okay, well, there's nothing you could do right now but to just take a break and get away. Checking the price every single day, every single minute, every single 5 minutes is not going to help you, right? Learn from your mistakes. Know that things will get better. If you have the ability to dollar cost average, then go ahead. But if you don't, you just have to hold on. Otherwise, your only other option is panic selling. And if you panic sell now, you're taking that unrealized loss, you're making a realized loss, and you can never recover from that. So learn from your mistake and don't overinvest in the future. Alluvium will be released next year. I think they're very promising. I think they're all promising. You know, they're artists, right? Have done a really good job in terms of painting alluvials are like the little characters, right? They look absolutely fantastic. The gameplay looks fantastic. So if the game is as good as it looks right now, then I think it could do really well. And they have been doing very well. Luke says, MM Crypto said the market will explode in 7 to 14 hours. It could, because that's indicating that's next tomorrow, right? I honestly think what's going to cause it to explode is basically what's going to happen with this. Okay? There's going to be more media talking about Omicron. And if it turns out to be something that, okay, it is mild and it's no big deal, then the market is going to recover in a big way. And that includes Bitcoin and stocks and everything else. Because stocks also took a huge dive. Not as big as Bitcoin, but it also took a big dive on Friday. And if stocks was open 24/7 like Bitcoin, they would have taken more dives. But we'll see what happens this week. Bitcoin could recover really, really quickly if this turns out to be nothing, right? So stay strong. We'll just have to see what happens this week. No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not going to check out that project. Ken, I already answered about multivac. Is Pavia is going to be a coin like Mana? You know what? I do think they are, right? So you could see here the roadmap. Yeah, liquidity addition to Cardano dexes and cross-chain. Yeah, native token. Yep. It's going to be airdrop. Here we go. Pavia native token snapshot and airdrop to land holders in December 2021. Oh, so you'll get the token. It's going to be airdropped to you based on if you hold land or not. And then they'll be added to the dex. So there you go. You can't buy it. You just have to buy land right now. All right, let's see. Made 110% on Voyager back in 280. Helped me get to 50, 25, 25. How much better mentally? 50, 25, 25. Oh, okay. 50, 25, 25 is king. Yes, I do believe that. Right? I do believe it. Because, the 50% of Bitcoin, a lot of people don't care about and think like, it's garbage. I can just go all in on altcoins, right? But like days like today, that helps you because Bitcoin is down barely 2%, but all the altcoins are down 5, 6, 10%, right? So 50, 25, 25 was created to optimize your losses or minimize your losses, but increase gains. But of course, you could tweak that, right? You could tweak that maybe more into big caps right now, right? A little bit less in Bitcoin, more in big caps. Or a little bit less in small caps and more in Bitcoin, right? So you could tweak that, but it's a good guideline for people that are getting in, right? It has worked for me and it has worked for many others. What do you think about Telos, right? They look promising. They are based on a EOS code base, though. I'm not a fan of EOS, but they are very fast and very scalable. But the big thing is their new EVM, right? That's the big thing. It's a EVM that's actually Ethereum virtual machine, so all dApp makers on Ethereum could use it with no worries about congestions or fees. So it does seem very interesting. Would you choose 13 ENS or Luna? I like Luna much better than ENS. So ENS I think was they were way overpriced. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I like Luna a lot. Dan says Bitcoin back to 58K tonight. That would not surprise me. I'm waiting for it. I think there is going to be a big bounce. Because I think this Omicron is a nothing burger. It's no worse than any other variant that we had. So I answered about ENS already. I think they're way overvalued. Realized losses are good if you have realized gains. I guess that's true. If you're wash trading, right, if you want to offset your taxes, you could sell off everything now and rebuy back. That way you're minimizing your realized gains so that you pay less taxes. So that's actually a good thing. I don't know if I want to do that, though. What are your thoughts about VVS? I don't know. It doesn't show up, Digicoin. It doesn't show up on here, so I've never heard of it. So picked up Nkeka and Ada last night. These two are bargain. Any thoughts on SC pumping last few days? No, I have no idea why Siacoin pumped up. Glitch Protocol, they have a whole ecosystem, right? Glitch DEX. Yeah, they're created as a L1 to scale DeFi projects. And they do have their GEX, which is their DEX, right? So it's an interesting project. They're still very, very small, right? So the big thing is, can they entice enough DeFi projects to go aboard? That's the unknown at this point, right? They just need to expand their ecosystem. All right, last few questions. QANX, sorry, never heard of it. Never heard of it. Engine, I talked about Engine. I like them quite a lot. They're in the metaverse space. I think they're going to go very far. Kava, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with them. I used to cover them quite a lot. They were a part of this channel. They're coming out their V5. And them and the Hard Protocol are, they're DeFi plays on top of Cosmos, but they're really separating themselves. They don't really want to be known as the Cosmos, DeFi plays, which is kind of surprising. That always surprised me. But I think they're okay. I just don't know what's been going on with them. I know you're not from the future, but do you think Nervos could do a 3 to 5x till I could answer Peter that they have the possibility to do so. Will they do so? I don't know. But I think if the market continues to go higher, they definitely have a shot of doing that. All right, guys. That is it. Overall, hey, we're at a standstill. We're waiting, right? I think this week is going to be good for Bitcoin. I think this week is going to be good for the equities market, for everything, because I think the scare was just a scare. People overreacted. People decided to panic sell, right? Maybe lock in some profits because they were afraid that this new variant's going to be really, really bad. But the doctor already came out and said it's not so bad. It's actually very mild compared to other variants. So I think we're going to have a good recovery this week, but we'll see. We'll see what comes of it. Is the markets going to recover due to this nothing burger, or is there going to be more FUD to drive things lower? I think it really depends on what happens starting tomorrow. All right, guys, that is it. Thanks for tuning in. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So many in the chat, so we're going to get that bounce. Maybe by then, we're going to get that bounce back up to 58.59, right? So we'll see. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.